Episode 89. I'm so refined. Don't you understand? Tonight is like some wine. You gotta honor the memory you see. So I'm honoring my parents and the birth chart be the sun and the moon. What does it do? At the time of your birth, it explains you. I mean, really, the people that made you and the relationship they have. I crave the you, and you should see. I'm gonna give you that knowledge, breaking down your chart, B. Where's your sun and where's your moon? What aspects do they make from summer to June? Is Virgo and Libra? Is it Taurus? Is it Scorpio? Is it Sag and Gemini? Don't you understand? Open up the third eye. Let's talk it. Let's walk it. Understand I was born in New York, kid. And knowledge is love, episode 89, and I'm flying like a dove. What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Eric Taylor. Taylor to you, Astrology. T2UC, Big 3 Astrology. I'm live. How y'all doing? How you feeling? Quick one. Not staying on forever tonight. You know, the truth is here. He got to get to basketball practice. And say what's up, man.
Hi.
And I'm going to use him as an example just to start it off. But tonight, I wanted to talk about, number one, Libra sun, 19 degrees, Taurus moon, 27 degrees. So we're going to say goodbye to the Taurus moon tonight. And the next 2.5 days will be the Gemini moon, which is fitting because that's the truce position. But in your natal birth chart, and it's a Pisces rising, right? That was my mom's rising. So it's a Pisces rising right now as we're doing the show. Mercury is really out of the shadow period because Mercury entered back into Libra today, right? So that's a good thing. And Venus is at 17 degrees, so it's 2 degrees behind the sun. Right, so it's not in the morning star, it's the evening star. So they say it's like more of the dark side of Venus. So there could be some issues with money and relationships and, you know, things with women and all that stuff. But, and Lilith, I noticed, retrograded back into Cancer at 29 degrees. But I'm talking about the true black moon Lilith. So it'll be in Leo and stuff. How y'all doing? We're going to get to in a second. Are you doing it from over there? Or are you coming over here? Okay. And so who popped in? So the sun in astrology represents your father. It's your ego, your pride, your vitality, your authority, the government, your creativity, your personality. One aspect of your personality, because the sun, moon, and rising sign all represent the personality. It's your vitality, your huh? Yeah. I'm saying who's here?
Janet Jones is here, Kimberly is here, Matt Gaiman's here, and Hope is here.
What's up, Matt Gaiman, Hope, and Evelyn? Who was the second one you said?
Kimberly.
Kimberly. Hey, Kimberly. I hope you're coming to Coffee Talk. Did you guys see my new logo? That's going to be my new Coffee Talk sticker. I put that up in community today. And on the IG, wifey made it. So I'm going to get some stickers that I'll send out to you guys. You can put on your water bottle, whatever. You know, for all the Coffee Talk people, Monologists Love people, you know, they'll be free. I might sell them one day for like $1, but I'm ordering some stickers. I'll be getting some t-shirts soon. I'm hooking up with a great editor and publisher to get my book and my ebook together and some downloadable stuff on the website from my relationship coaching, Elevators to Marriage. About to get the website revamped, clean it up. It's looking a little messy, you know, whatever. And it's, you know, no knock on my current website lady, but, you know, we just got to kind of upgrade and get it on and popping. So that's the sun, the father, right? But just like anything in astrology, it gets way deeper. I'll get back to that. The moon represents tu madre, your mother, but it's your body, your health, your family, your emotions, your feelings, your intuition. Kind of like Saturn, it's got that ancestral DNA, right? The DNA in Saturn is in the bones, but the same thing with the moon. Because it's the roots and the ancestors, right? You also have your sensitivities, your feelings. I'm feeling so happy to see you. Oh, and the Truth did a little commercial today. He did it at home. It was not a commercial. It was like a dance party because he did these sickle cell spots and he did this whole thing. And we just set up the lighting in the crib and and he was just dancing and just got paid and made some money. I'm really proud of him. So let me start off with that, right? So also, when you're looking at your natal birth chart, whatever sun sign you are, you need to look at that planetary ruler. So for me, Virgo sun, well, describing the father and attributes, I need to look at my Mercury, right? If you're a Scorpio sun, hey, Irene, you need to look at your Mars, right? Because that describes, and if you've noticed, I've been talking about that in the Secrets of the Sun sign. Like if you're a Libra sun, then you want to look at the Venus. You understand? So this will tell you different aspects and flavor the story of your father in your chart, along with the house. Okay, so you guys can start putting up your sun and moon placements, and then we can talk about that, and you can ask specific questions, because where your sun and moon are speak about the relationship of your parents at birth. So same thing with the moon. If your moon's in Taurus, then we're going to look at Venus as well in the chart. That will layer and flavor it, right? It's sort of like when you're looking at house rulership and chart rulership, right? You're your chart ruler. Let's say you're a Libra rising. Venus is your chart ruler. So then you need to see, okay, well, I got Venus in the 5th house in Aquarius. So then that kind of accents that house and flavors your Venus, tells the story of your ascendant and even more about the Aquarius. But we're talking about more just the sun and the moon. But I'm just giving you examples of how you always want to layer stuff when you're looking at specific placements, because it gives you a more thorough, detailed reading of the natal birth chart. You got me? Okay. So I am a Virgo sun with a Capricorn moon, 11th house, 3rd house. So the aspect of my sun and moon at birth is a trine, the easy flow of energy, right? Like the triangle on the dollar bill, y'all, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Yeah. Okay. Because inauguration day used to be March 4th. You got it? It didn't change to the 40s with that FDR Truman. I always forget. I should just re-look it up again and print it. Does anybody know Kimberly, Irene? You guys, you get into the history stuff. Do anybody remember? Because they switched it to January 20th. But it used to be the trine, like the triangle and the all-I-seeing pyramid, Horus, right? Horus, horoscope. Aha. Are you getting it? Okay. So that tells you my mother and father, William and Cheryl, were in perfect harmony when they had me. The truth. He's a Gemini sun and moon, right? It's like almost, I'm not going to get into all the degrees, but it's basically almost like a conjunction. And so that says that his mother and father were on the same page, right? And in tight union when William was born, which we were. We had him at the birthing center in New York City. I was her human wedge for my wife. She got pissed because, she thought she had to go to the bathroom and it was just time for the baby. And she comes back and I'm in the bed and she was like, "What are you doing in the bed?" And I'm like, "The nurse and doctor told me to get in bed. I'm your human wedge." And she was like, she went from being so annoyed and frustrated with me to like, "Oh, okay." And then, which was great because I got to, help her push and like rub her, massage her and give her, confidence. And 25 minutes later, boom, came out the truth, they barely cleaned him, and it was so great because he was such the difference between William and the twins, right? They Alana cut the first baby, Jackson's cord, and then he got to me and the nurses. But then I felt so terrible. I had to leave him to go back to be there. And we also had a doula to help with Mateus. And I cut Mateus's cord, but they weren't put like William right immediately on her chest. And so I think that makes a difference. And any of you women who've had kids like Kimberly or, Janet, you guys can talk about it. If you had the baby immediately, and Kimberly, you have multiple kids, so you could really break it down. You know what I mean? If you got the child immediately, it's like the first like smell and breath, it's like on the mother's chest and breast milk. You know what I mean? Like so, he latched on and was just like boom. He didn't even want a bottle. Like he was just like, I just want mom, right? So pretty much ever, and so it's just interesting. But they were in the conjunction. Now Jackson and Mateus, Leo sun, Scorpio moon. So it was a square. So Alana and I weren't in a bad place, but the square is an opportunity for growth, right? So sometimes when I do your chart readings, if I see a square, the parents, they could figure it, work it out, and everything's fine. Or sometimes they could get separated or divorced. Squares and oppositions. Okay. But there's plenty of clients who their sun and moon are in opposition and their parents worked it out. Same thing with squares. But it does tell you the story of the relationship. Okay. So it's just kind of interesting. And I think for us, it was because we had come off of, fortunately, losing a child. And I think my amazing wife was just emotionally just done. And so I literally got it in the last minute. And we both wanted more kids. I probably wanted it a little bit more, being honest, but they were definitely wanted. But I think it was just emotionally really challenging for my wife. Do you know what I mean? So that's the square, and then everything turned around and blah 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 blah. So okay, let's get to some comments. Truth.
Okay. So first, Maggie said, "What y'all Gemini moon?"
Gemini moon. What's your sun?
This is Maggie.
Yeah. What's his sun? Did he say?
Um.
Yeah. You guys put your
Yeah.
okay.
Capricorn sun. Capricorn sun.
Cap
Capricorn sun.
Gemini moon.
Yeah. Third house. Gemini moon. Eighth house. Yeah.
Okay, so that's like not a.
Abraham Robinson said my mom and pops must have been in shambles at well.
what was the placement? And also remember, if you want, you can even share the sun moon, but also the houses, because that does tell more of the theme, and it's really fascinating how that can play out. Um, I think I know my sister was born on a full moon, so Libra sun, Aries moon. My father was in Aries, but that opposition. So mom and dad were kind of like looking at each other like, is this going to be good? Is this going to be okay? Because they got married in 61 and then had her in 65. So just 4 years later. But, I don't know where they were at, and, I know there were some, issues maybe early on in the marriage, and they were married for 16 years until my father was murdered. So things worked out. Obviously, if it went from opposition to me, the trine, in 5 years, you see where the marriage got better. Make sense? Okay, go ahead.
Then Hope says, so my parents were polar opposite sister signs at the time of me.
They were what?
Polar opposite sister signs.
Okay, what signs are they again? I mean, God, I know you're Gemini sun. Okay, keep reading, but yeah, put the sun and the moon. I don't remember offhand right now. Hope.
Cancer sun, second house, 1 degree Capricorn, eighth house, 19 degrees. So
Is that hope? Oh, yeah. So, I mean, when you're in Gemini Cancer, it's like kind of, it's really an in conjunction. And that's challenging energy. You know what I mean? The in conjunction is where there are, there are really challenges with the quincunx. I prefer saying in conjunction, but they're the same thing, in conjunction and quincunx. Okay. So when you hear astrologers say that, that's the same thing. So it's just not, it's like 8 signs away or 6. It's not 7. It's not the opposition is 7. All right. So that's how you guys look for it in the birth chart. All right. All right. Who else?
Then Abraham Robinson said Libra Sun, 10th house, Capricorn Moon, first house.
Oh, the square. Yeah. And did they work it out or did they wind up getting divorced, Abraham? I can't remember. But, and, one describes, so like for the Capricorn moon, right? Mom was like kind of tough and strict, disciplinarian, old school, and she came from a West Indian father, right? And then the Virgo sun, the father was very detailed, logical, analytical, right? Critical, because he, was a businessman and he was always working with, money and numbers. So he was always analyzing, assessing, because the Mercury's in Virgo too in the 11th house, right? Working with large groups of people. Now, peep this. Capricorn moon, so that's Saturn. My Saturn is in Taurus, 7th house. My mother was a Taurus sun sign. You see how that works? So that's what I'm saying. It describes the parent and just it can be literal like in my chart, but it can describe like what they do, just or their own energy, because she had me at her Saturn return, 29. So my mother's Saturn was in Taurus as well as mine. And often you can see that, if the mother gives birth around 28, 29, the child and the mother will have that same Saturn return. So that's kind of interesting as well. But I think, when I looked at it, I was kind of like, oh, wow, that's so deep, because it really did describe both my parents. And you guys can do it and comment and share, but like that's fascinating to me, right? That my Capricorn moon, Capricorn rules Saturn, and then my Saturn's in Taurus, right? In the 7th house. And I can't wait to see you guys at Coffee Talk on Saturday. I've been getting some good nuggets on Mercury and Venus. I'm going to share with you guys and teaching the lesson. So anybody here who hasn't signed up, or you're free Saturday morning, 1 p.m. Eastern, 90 minutes over Zoom, Astrological Coffee Talk with Eric. And it's only $15. I'm going to be breaking down the planets Mercury and Venus and their meaning, explaining their meanings in the birth chart. And I mean, I think sometimes we're not really even sure of how deep these energies are and how these planets not only affect the Earth, but our chart and our individual lives. Just so happens, right, we're in Libra season and Mercury and Venus are both in Libra. So it's perfect timing. That's why I really wanted to do, either Venus or Mercury. And then I just decided to do both. And then November, I'll probably do Mars, Jupiter, or maybe even do Mars and discuss the whole eclipse energy. Because the eclipse energy, you guys, you can feel it like 2 weeks before and then like 6 months after. And, soon we'll be going to the Aries Libra North and South node. We'll be leaving Scorpio Taurus, because remember, your nodal return is 18 and a half years, and they only stay in a sign, I think it's like 16, 18 months. Okay. So that's coming up. That's coming up. I think it's going to stay there until maybe May maybe late April, May for that last. I think there might be one more eclipse. I don't know if anybody on here knows. All right, so we got more comments. Go ahead.
Okay, then Stephen Jutarian said, "Oh, well, Callie Lydia said, hey, Dr. Eric."
What's up, Callie? Hey, Steven.
Robinson said, "I'll sign up."
Oh, Abraham, man, you should come because you'll meet all these great people. Everybody pretty much on here tonight is coming. So that just makes me feel good. It's almost like we're having our own private coffee talk right now. Right? So, but
Janet Jones said 25 hours in labor, he only wanted the rest. And then Janet Jones said, Sun, Sagittarius, and Jupiter in the 6th house.
Okay. So, that speaks to, like mom and her daily routine and life, and just, mom was creative and kind of bigger than life, right? Oh no, that's your sun sign. That's right. I'm sorry. So that's more talking about dad, right? I forgot oh God, what is your moon again? You guys got to put both of them in there. Now, I've pretty much seen everybody's chart on here except for Irene, so I mean, I should know it. I know Steven is Jupiter Pisces Sag, right? Or no, I'm sorry. What is your moon again, Steven? Because you have the Sag ascendant, Pisces Sun. I forgot the moon. Go ahead. We got more comments.
Okay, then Libra moon.
For Steven?
No, for Janet.
For Jen. Oh, yes, that's totally mom. That's totally your mom. That's dope. Okay, see? So, oh man, that's your mom. God bless her. I know she was creative and stuff, and pretty lady. So, yeah, I just wanted to honor the parents tonight, you guys. But I want you to. So look, Janet. I mean, Evelyn, right? Your parents were in a sextile, right? The sextile. It's not as great as the trine, but remember, think of the sextile as like this poking energy, like, hey, baby, look at this. Hey, oh, love, look at this, right? It's the constant like checking in, that tap, 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 tap. That's 60 degrees. And some astrologers like to look at the semi-sextile, which is just the next sign over, right? The 30 degree. And I don't use it personally, a semi-sextile, but the sextile to me is very it's harmonious, and there's relationships that you can see that are very good between the sextiles, even for like Libras and Sagittarius. That could be a very good relationship in a marriage. Now they're going to see things differently. Obviously you're talking cardinal air and then mutable fire, but air and fires work good together. That Aries Aquarius sextile. And I'll be putting up, you guys, this week. I got lined up True Black Moon Lilith, 7th house, Aries Secrets of the Sun sign. I hope you guys are liking that series. And you guys can comment which one you want to see next. I have Aries coming up, and then I was going to do Leo. But if there's, I'm going to do them all. But if you're like itching, like, oh, Eric, please, you got to do Capricorn, you got to do Sag, just comment, and you can tell me what you're dying to see. But I've already recorded Aries. I'll probably record something tonight or tomorrow, but I'm really just busy working on the birth chizzies for a bunch of clients and stuff. So also, what is really fascinating about the sun-moon relationship is how it changes from the natal chart to then what happens in the secondary progression chart. And does that switch up the dynamics of your parents through your life or through your eyes? It's a deep concept, deep question. And right now, I don't know the exact answer. So it's something I've just got to do more astrological research. I mean, yeah, they make aspects, but do you see it as the development and growth. Because what you guys got to remember, the moon in the natal chart, well, just the moon in transit, right? Switches houses and signs every 2.5 days, right? If you follow the phases of the moon and the lunar cycle, you can see the mood shifts and swings in your own personality. So this Taurus moon right now, the moon is exalted. So, I know I've been feeling a little boost of energy the last, couple days, more time in nature, feeling, I don't know, just feeling good. And maybe it's the moon hitting my, seventh house, going past that North Node and going past the Uranus and hitting my natal Saturn and Juno. So, that you have to look for. But in the progress chart, it's going to switch every 2.5 years. So that's how you look at that with the moon, right? It takes a while for the sun to move, and the ascendants, So like right now, my progress chart, I went from the Virgo sun to the Scorpio sun, Scorpio rising to the Capricorn rising. So you see how that works. And I'm 52 years old. Okay, so let's get some more comments.
Rowan said, yeah, I'm Scorpio, Sun, Aquarius, Ascendant, and progress chart.
Scorpio sun, Aquarius ascendant. Okay.
And then Kimberly said Sun, 3rd house, Sagittarius, 5th house, Moon, Aquarius.
Oh yeah, that's right. You got that Aquarius moon. Yeah, I remember that coffee talk not last month, 2 months ago. We had like three or four of you guys are Aquarius moons. Just smart as a whip. But that's nice. So that's the sextile there, So your parents were, in a good position. What's fascinating, you guys, is any of the signs that have the two rulers. So I guess you can consider Scorpio with Mars and Pluto. And then, Aquarius, Saturn, Uranus, and then Pisces, Jupiter, Neptune. Well, talking about Western tropical, so, we consider the modern planets. But when you are looking at your chart and you want to look at the ruler, look at the traditional ruler, not the modern, right? So for Scorpio, look at Mars. Aquarius, look at Saturn. It's the masculine side of Saturn, the stern grandfather, and Capricorn is the stern grandmother. And then for Pisces, look at Jupiter. Okay. And, I'll be, telling some interesting little tidbits and astrology information and knowledge on Coffee Talk on Saturday about just that, and even planetary joy and stuff like that. So just looking at the sun and the moon, what's so fascinating is that their planetary joys are in oppositions. So that even tells you that the opposition is not a bad placement, right? And if you believe the whole potential chart of Jesus Christos, Jesus Christ, Capricorn rising, Pisces moon in its planetary joy in the 3rd house, which totally makes sense, right? And then the Virgo sun, and the sun is in its planetary joy in the 9th house, the 3rd fire sign, at home in Leo, exalted in Aries, but in its planetary joy in 9th house Sagittarius. But that's where the Virgo sun, born September 11th for Jesus, that's pretty deep. So that opposition, not saying when your parents are in opposition, you could be born of a virgin, born to a virgin mother, right? But, it could indicate maybe a loss or a separation of a parent, the opposition. Could. Not always, there's certain things in charts that are tendencies, and then there's certain things that are like, oh my gosh, like You got the Scorpio sun, moon, or rising, or your kids, the birth or the pregnancy was very challenging. Preeclampsia, breech, this, that, born early, blah, 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 C-section, surgery, that, you know, the umbilical cord around the neck, like all this type of stuff. That's what happens if you have a Scorpio sun, moon, rising. And my wife went preeclamptic with my Scorpio moon boys. My mother, I think, either had a C-section or something difficult happened, and I have the Scorpio rising. Right? My nephew's a Scorpio, my niece Scorpio rising, and my sister had issues at the birth of both. So it's, I guess if you research it, they might say 95, 98% accurate, but to me, I've seen it 100%. And I even had a client who was like, oh no, my birth was, everything was fine. The kids are fine. No, that's not the case for me. And this is why I tell you, the astrologer might not know the information. You as the client, if you're doing chart readings yourself and you're working with a client, they can misremember. But the astrology is never wrong. Hence, when I dug deeper with the client, I was like, well, how about the last, week or two of birth? Oh, I went preeclamptic. Oh, there you go. And I was like, that's what gave the Scorpio boom. She's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, I went preeclamptic, and I couldn't even take a step. I was bed rest, and then I had to go put, So that's what it is. My wife went preeclamptic, had to go in the hospital. I think she was there 7. It was like 7 or 10 days, William, something like that.
I was like 3 or 4.
You were 4, yeah. He don't remember. He was 4 when they were born. And he used to be like, babies. He'd call his brothers babies, like, babies. He was like, they're my babies. It was really cute. It was really, really cute. All right, go ahead. Read some more comments.
Two more people on. Antonia.
Hey, Antonia.
Said my son in Gemini, Leo, Capricorn rising. My mom is a Capricorn.
Sun in Gemini, moon in Leo.
Dad is an Aquarius. My stepdad is a Capricorn. My Cap rising is 23 degrees. My mom is December 23rd.
So Leo, Gemini. So your parents were in the sextile, but you got the stepdad. So what happened? Did your parents get divorced or something else happened? But so Gemini, moon, Leo, sun. That's pretty creative energies. You must be a creative lady, Antonia. But and fun and flirty and all that good stuff. But Gemini moons, my son is a Gemini moon. That you need to express yourself too, especially when you're dealing with your emotions and explaining yourself and relationships. But okay, go ahead, continue to read. Let me know if she comments on her with her dad, or something happened to your father. And who's the other new person?
Israel.
Oh, welcome back, Israel.
He said, what's up, y'all?
How y'all feeling? How you feeling, man?
And then Janetta Jones said, I had C-section with Mercury and Mars and Scorpio in the 5th house.
Yeah, see? You're another example, right? Your son. And that's deep. And I think your son is a Scorpio, right? So, that's wild. But it really that plays out. I've seen it 100% of the time. And I would love to see the example where it's not. Because then you got to dig deeper and see. If you look for it, sometimes things are hidden in astrology and in the birth chart, you guys. But that's why you use the different tools: transits, annual perfections, solar returns, secondary progressions, right? These are things that I teach in my one-on-one astrology class. And then I'll be teaching in the intermediate level. And I'm starting to design all the graphics and stuff. It's coming together. I'm gonna have my intro. I decided instead of 7 weeks, I'm gonna do 8 weeks. So it's gonna be 8 weeks for $199. Still very cheap and affordable, but it's gonna be 2 weeks of signs, 2 weeks of planets, 2 weeks of houses. Because when you're building the foundation, you need time. And I'll be giving quizzes and homework and stuff, to really for anyone that really wants to, because when you learn the basic foundations, then you can start to read charts. Not as a professional yet, that will be the intermediate class. But when you get the basic foundation, it's enough to start with your own chart and your family's so you really understand it. Because when you live with the flow and energy of your birth chart, I'm telling you, as I become more of a master of this ancient wisdom, and it's really remembering, right? Because you could see in my chart that I kind of I've done this before in a past life. My fifth house energy of past life karmas with the Pisces, and then the 11th house stellium, south node Mercury, which is what we ancients used to use for astrologers, not Uranus and stuff like that. It was always Mercury because you had to calculate longitude and latitude and use your logical analytical mind. But see, I like to bring in the intuition, the spirituality. I don't want to say psychic ability because I don't feel that I'm psychic. Someone else could say differently, but I don't know. I don't put labels on myself like that, right? I'm like De La Soul, Balloon Mind State. I am, I be. Where's Danny at? Danny Figueroa, the ill flower. But so that's really it's just so fascinating, right? Like even how I told you, like the Capricorn moon, Saturn, Taurus. My mother was a Taurus sun, and she had Taurus and Saturn. So that connection, and maybe you guys can see that in your own charts with your parents, and it's kind of mind blowing, And I think you might have tried this after I taught it in Coffee Talk, Kimberly. I don't know, but I saw in my wife's chart and my chart with the annual perfections those years, right? So the first house is 0, 12, 24, 36, 48, 60 years old, 72, 84, 96, right? So you can look at that and then go around the zodiac wheel, right? So that means that second house would be 1 and 25, right? And 37. And you just keep, and then so you can see, and then you can track and then look, right? So for me, 36, right, was the Scorpio rising. 37, 38, 39, Aquarius, fourth house. Well, the truth is an Aquarius North Node, right? So I brought the Aquarian baby home, and then he's got the Virgo rising, right? And so that's what you could see also too in the charts, right? When you do birth charts of generations, you can see planetary placements. So ancestor DNA, the moon, my grandfather, paternal grandfather, was the Capricorn sun. So, so you could see different things. And both my grandmothers were Libras, along with my sister. So sometimes I wonder I don't know of astrology knowledge that correlates this, but sometimes I just wonder, is that maybe why I've got the Libra 12th house with Uranus there? It's almost like my grandmothers, right, are passing down these visions and dreams to me. You ever think of like your spirit guides and guardian angels like that? It's kind of deep. I'm just speaking out loud and thinking, because I never, I've thought about it, but I never voiced it out loud. So I'm doing that tonight live here right now with you guys. So it's kind of fascinating. All right, go ahead, read. Enough about me talking. What else? What's popping with y'all? How you guys feeling? I hope you're feeling good.
Well, Antonio said, yes, my parents divorced when I was 3, raised by my stepdad. My Aquarius dad is chief artist, restaurant owner.
Is what? Chief what?
Chief artist restaurant owner.
Oh, okay. So that didn't work out. Was that a sextile in your chart? Oh no, yeah, it was a Gemini Leo for you. Oh, and that's funny that he's the Aquarius, the opposite of Leo. And then the Gemini moon, and then married stepdad's a Capricorn. So that's funny. So your mom still was attracted to that Saturn energy. It's fascinating. Wow. Okay. So that's where you can see sometimes, and then it makes you wonder, right? In the progress chart at 3 years old or different transits, you might be able to see the spark plug or the initiation to the sextile separating and then getting a divorce. You know what I mean? Like that's where I think, we have to understand this is what Carl Jung used astrology and good psychotherapists use astrology. Because you can really get into the psychology of the birth chart and start to see, even with the moon and moon phases and just different energies, through progression, solar returns. Even if you did solar returns for your parents the year they got divorced, you might see it, or their progressed charts. You might see. So that's what I'm saying. Like it's hidden, but if you have the astrological knowledge, you can find the answers. You got it? It's wild, you know. I think I shared on here with you guys, and I haven't shared it yet. Um, I'm just frustrated. I still can't figure out how to get the charts. So I might start doing Google meetings or whatever, because I don't know how to do Zoom to YouTube. And when I do Restream, it's not allowing me yet to do. And I watched a video on YouTube. I'm not a technical genius. I have a technical mind, but it's for astrology and other things. And it's for like rhymes because I'm so creative, but it's not for like, technology. But I am getting better. You see, you have to say the positive I am statements, right? Because remember, you guys, I am is biblically, um, what is it? That too shall come to pass. So don't ever say, I am dumb. I am this and that. No, no, no. And we're trying to teach that to the kids, right? I am strong. I am healthy. I am abundant. I am wealthy. I am blessed. I am healed. I am a great astrologer. I am a great husband, a great dad. I am, right? You want your I ams to be very intentional and positive. And you'll see that energy change around your life, your relationship. I'm telling you, it works because I am getting more and more spiritually disciplined every day. Pisces North Node. I have no choice. I'm getting obsessed about it, right? Between 42 and 48. So I'm moving there. I'm leaving that Mercury South Node. I'm leaving that 11th house energy, right? I'm more focused on my kids and their creativity, right? Mom and dad helping the truth with his acting career. Okay. Because he's got sun and moon and Gemini 10th house. Uh-huh. Oh, and I'm so tempted to tell you a little Mercury secret, but I got to save it for coffee talk. Because I explained it to my son today and it totally works out. But that's just for everybody that comes to coffee talk. I can't talk about it here on Knowledge is Love. Don't mean I don't love you. I got to save some of the knowledge for coffee talk. All right, go ahead, Reed.
Okay.
And Antonio in Israel, you're welcome to come. Just email me, taylor2coach@gmail.com. Hey, Ari. So Saturday, October 15th.
12th house, North Node here. And then she said, where's Danny?
I don't know where Danny is, but Irene, what's your sun and moon again? That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about no North Nodes, Irene. We're talking about the relationship of your parents, sun and moon, and the birth chizzy. And I think you're the Gemini sun. I forgot your moon. Irene, are you an Aquarius moon? For some reason, I think I remember you an Aquarius moon. Put that in there, Irene. What's your sun and moon? Come on, Irene. Bump, 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 bump. Any other comments? We got more?
Yeah.
Okay.
Callie said, OBS is pretty easy to use. Plus, there's tons of video on YouTube, and it's free. Or like she's telling you to use OBS.
OBS?
Yeah, it's like a streaming thing.
Oh, instead of Restream, but I already paid for Restream for the year. Afterwards, I might switch to something else, but
It's free.
OBS is free. But can you record the videos on there and then download it?
No, it's just not on YouTube.
Huh?
I'm not quite sure.
And then I need to know, Callie, does it link up to YouTube? OBS. I'll search it. Huh?
I've heard of it before. A lot of people use it.
OBS. Okay.
Yeah. I don't mind doing it yourself.
But I got to find out, one, can I screen share? And then how's the quality? Because that Restream has good audio quality. The video could be better, but I could pay for more higher premium. Because I noticed the other day when I was doing my thing and I was rhyming, it was getting a little choppy. When I edited up the video of the Aries full moon live, when I edited the segment, and you could see me kind of rhyme. And by the way, do you really listen? Abraham, I know you listen, but do y'all listen? Like, do you feel the bars? Because that Aries full moon video in the intro, and this is off the top, it's not written freestyle. I'm hitting some serious bars because I'm basically describing all the aspects and placements for the Aries full moon and how I'm going to talk about it today on the show. Your boy went in. You know? I don't know. You guys gotta love. I don't know if you love hip hop the way I do, but I know how a mind works. And I know, when someone hasn't written something and they're just going off the top, it's so easy to just lose it because it's the train of thought. So think of the words coming from the cranium and going down the escalator and then spitting up out of your mouth. And then to do that on beat, perfect timing, with details about a specific subject, it's magic. It's like Blue and Cream, Wu-Tang's for the children. It's hip hop. That's your boy. I'm hip hop. So anyway, I thought it was a dope rhyme. And listen, I don't think every rhyme I do is dope. I'll tell you, like, somebody be like, yo, that's really hot. I'm like, nah, I didn't do a good job with that. I'm working on a song right now and I spit something or whatever. And, my producer friend was like, yo, that's tight. And I'm like, nah, I got to redo it. It was good. And everything was like, you felt the flavor and the content, one thing there's a couple of things in there that I like. So maybe I'll just stop and just sit there and write something, My mind is so filled with all this astrology knowledge right now. It's hard for me to write rhymes anymore and then sit down, rehearse, and memorize them because I'm so busy mentally doing other things. So for me, I'll focus on a topic and then I'll just spit and then boom, see what comes out. But you can construct rhymes in your head like that. That's what, what Jay-Z does and stuff. But if you've got the time to do that, then you can do it, So go ahead, read some more.
Okay.
And we're going to go soon. The truth has got to go get ready for basketball practice. So if you want to ask any specific questions, please ask me. Go ahead. Speak a little louder.
Okay.
Or just come over here.
I like the couch. Iron Max said my Aquarius moon is conjunct Black Moon Lilith and my Gemini sun conjunct Mars, trine 1 and then.
Oh, so that even says more stuff about the parents too. But I was right. So that goes back. I remember Aquarius moon. So you really got to come to Coffee Talk because we got like 3-4 Aquarius moon ladies. Okay. And then if Danny comes, he's Aquarius moon. So that's like, we'd be having like 5-6 people on Coffee Talk with the Aquarius moon. And my Aquarius is empty. I'm all earth and water, you guys. Only thing I got in the air, I got no fire in my chart. Now my water is kind of fiery with Scorpio, right? That's like the fiery water, just like Virgo is like the airish earth sign. So I think my fixed water is like fiery ice. Because I think if you know me and met me, you would be shocked. You would be like, "Oh, you got to have fire in your chart." I got no fire in my chart, but I'm definitely a fiery boy. You understand? But I have the air, only one air, and that's and Uranus. So for you, Irene, you've got your parents were in the trine, the perfect flow of energy at your birth. So that's really nice. Go ahead, continue, William.
He asked you a question. No, I know, but you're talking.
Yeah, go ahead. Just read.
Anyway, I'm remax of my Aquarius moon, and then I remax the Ace Eden, and then I remax of Courtney. We would get along probably.
Who would get along?
Courtney.
Oh, Courtney. Does someone new?
Yeah. Courtney said.
Hi, Courtney.
Sun, Aquarius, Gemini, Moon, Pisces, Venus, and House.
Wait. Slow down. Sun in
Aquarius.
Okay.
Gemini, Moon.
Oh, you're trying too. Sun in Aquarius, Gemini, Moon.
With Pisces and Venus.
Pisces and Venus. 10th house. So you're the Gemini rising. Pisces, Venus, 10th house. Oh, that's nice. That exalted Venus in the 10th house. What do you do for a living, Miss Courtney? But thank you and welcome to Knowledge is Love. And yeah, your parents were in the perfect flow of energy, Gemini, Aquarius. So there was a lot of intelligent conversation in the home when you were born. And Gemini, so you got the Aquarius sun, so the moon and the ascendant. Also, everybody loves to come to you, Courtney, and talk and tell you their issues and their stories, the Gemini moon, and you probably give great advice and you're fun loving and stuff like that. That's a nice placement, Now the moon, Mercury's in its planetary joy, you guys, in the first house. So that moon there is different. But so then you would look for your mother, right? You would look at Mercury to flavor the story of your mom and maybe her skills or her work or personality. You would look, because you're the Gemini moon at the Mercury, and then the Aquarius for the Papa, you're going to look at Saturn. Okay. So that's definitely interesting. Are those doors closed?
Yeah.
Okay. So for Dad, it would be the Saturn. Okay. But welcome, Courtney. I'm Eric Taylor. Nice to meet you. And I would like to invite you as well, as a lot of these amazing men and women on here have been to Coffee Talk and are coming this Saturday. It's Saturday, October 15th at 1 p.m. Eastern, 90 minutes over Zoom for only $15. And I'm teaching a really cool lesson on the planets Mercury and Venus. And we'll do chart examples but it's really nice because we have a good time, because it's also building community. I mean, yeah, I yap and teach for a bit, but then I just open it up and we kind of exchange, and I also ask questions, and I let some of you guys give your opinion or perception on a chart. And so it's like you're learning, but it's interactive. And so I really feel like I'm trying to create something that's really just dope and entertaining, but educational, because I want to teach you these lessons, but I want it to be practical in your life. So this astrology knowledge, the ancient wisdom, the map of your life, is beneficial, right? We're not going to buy you fish, and I want to teach you to fish for yourself. So hopefully you come, Courtney. 1 p.m. Eastern. So I don't know if you're East Coast or West Coast. Are you West Side or East Coast or down South? But anyway, it's 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Either way, honey, I'm here and I'm teaching. Okay.
Well, then Abraham Lincoln, in my opinion, the freestyle is supposed to be competing character. It means freestyle.
Yeah, no. Oh, yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, no, I'm not saying that like I can't have fun with it, Abraham. I'm just saying that sometimes in my freestyle I mess up and I you got to understand that's my Virgo Mercury. I'm being critical of myself, right? You know, I can't help it. And I'm trust me, I'm way better. But yeah, you're right. Sometimes, but sometimes freestyles are just perfect magic, and it's better than written because it's like the free flowing from Uranus, and you're getting the downloads and the words coming down the escalate. You know what I mean? So yeah. But it's important when you're a real MC, you should be able to write and freestyle. Oh, you guys, you can go to Apple Music and you can hear my music. I didn't think it was on there still. So both albums are still on there. So Hip Hop Forever by E Complete. And you can go check it out. I mean, streams, it takes forever, I guess, for me to get any money from it with these streams. So I don't know if you could purchase it on iTunes or not. You could check. But, nowadays everybody just has the app. So I don't know if it's on Spotify. I don't think so, but it's on Apple Music still. So E Complete, Hip Hop Forever. You can hear my songs, My Mission, Walking My Life, just a whole bunch of stuff. But you could just probably say, hey Siri, play, E Complete, Hip Hop Forever. Or my second album, Truth Speaker. And the title track, Truth Speaker, is the one I told you about that Just Ice, the hip hop legend, really liked my verse in the track. I got an Ozzy Osbourne sample in there that's bananas. Abraham Robinson, you would love it. Truth Speaker is me, my boy Panama Red and Rugged and Raw. And the track was produced by this ill producer who used to do some stuff with Swiss Beats and the BX, Jay Styles, young Virgo kid, nasty. He's a dope MC and a dope producer. And same thing with my boy Rugged and Raw. He's a Virgo MC and producer. So yeah, some heat. But go check out Hip Hop Forever and True Speaker from your boy E Complete. So, okay, go ahead, read some more, and then we're going to get ready to bounce soon.
Okay.
All right, we got 2-3 minutes left, and then we're going to go because the truth got to get ready to hoop it up.
Well, I think I said one.
You left me a Courtney.
Okay, and then
Courtney and Abraham.
Courtney said, I feel like I need to start working on my own stuff, but I've been distracted with work, which I know I shouldn't be, because that's not the end goal, but I gotta pay bills.
Courtney said she's got to work on her own stuff. What type of stuff are you working on, Courtney?
She said, I've been going through it. I feel like I'm alone, but I know I'm not. I need some friends that understand.
Oh, well, then please come to Coffee Talk. That's why I've been trying to get Irene too. Courtney, listen, Steven will tell you, Kimberly, Hope, Janet Jones, and guys, let me tell you, I'm not just saying this because I feel like we really have a nice time. We have fun and we share insight and knowledge. And that's what I encourage. I want to build a community where it's that 11th house astrology, alien, so we talk about anything and everything, things you can't talk about on YouTube. And there's no judgment. There's not anything about politics, whatever. I don't care if somebody's right or left, conservative, liberal, Democrat, Republican, because I don't even get into that. I'm above all that. But I don't, there's no judgment. And it's just talking about astrology, but really self-help. We talk about herbs and plant medicine and things to benefit your life. So Courtney, please come. You won't regret. I mean, you can spend $15 at Starbucks like that. You might as well spend it, being around some like-minded people and learn about astrology to map your life and have some fun and meet some really cool people. Because I know it feels lonely. I've said this before in here, guys. I light up when I come on here because of you guys. And when I see you on Coffee Talk, oh my God, I love you guys. Because you guys are my astrology friends, right? I tell you, in my personal life, I got my wife and my kids, and I have a couple of friends in Arizona that are, more spiritual and into this stuff. And then even professionally, I know some astrologers, but my friends, family from New York and, other places from college and stuff, they're not really into astrology. And it's hurtful because I know it can help their lives. And I just want to help people. You know what I mean? So that's tough for me. I got one cousin who's into astrology, and I did her chart, a slow return, and she's like blown away by it. But you know what I mean? But so yeah, Courtney, you're not alone, girl. Trust me. Like Michael Jackson said, "You are not alone. I am here with you." Don't get me started on Mike Jackson. I still got to do his birth chart. I'm gonna do it. I just can't figure out the screen share thing on freaking Restream. Go ahead, finish reading. We're gonna close it out.
Okay. Then Antonia said, "Do you think is a generation thing with Pluto and children to divorced parents?"
Divorced parent? It depends on where your Pluto is. What generation?
Courtney said, "I can come." I'm saying C. Anyway.
She said what?
I can come, like coffee time.
Oh yeah, you can come. Okay, well, just email me Taylor to You Coaching, right? The number 2, like you see, Taylor to You Coaching at gmail.com, and it's only $15. And I'll be sending out the Zoom link. I mean, we got a nice group already signed up, and I'll be sending out the Zoom link probably Thursday evening, and I'm just waiting to get all the people together. And yeah, Saturday morning, I'll be there sipping on my coffee, probably maybe some tea, some not the kombucha, green tea, matcha. Matcha is really good for you. So I try to, coffee, the caffeine could be bad for your adrenals. So you gotta every once in a while, but my wife, she'd be hooking up some stuff in the coffee to like infuse it with some like love and health. Trying to get the mushroom coffee. But go ahead, read the last couple comments.
Okay.
But yes, oh sorry, the Pluto generations. Yes. Yeah, I mean, the Pluto generation is more for the self, not so much the family. Because it's the psychology of your soul, and it's about Pluto, Chiron, and Lilith healing the childhood wounds. And so we've got to work with the Lilith, the Chiron, and the degree of the Chiron, and the Pluto. Pluto is learning to surrender, right? To let go, let God, and then the Trinity of trust. Trust others, trust yourself, and trust God. So with Pluto, the sign depends, right? Libra, you learn those lessons through relationships. Scorpio, it's through money, power, sex, intimacy, truth, secrets, lies, right? Power over dynamics, control, obsession. Sagittarius is through your beliefs, through your philosophies in life, optimistic nature. You got to transform them, right? Capricorn, it's going to be transforming, destroy, and rebuild the structures. Okay, read the last couple of comments.
Okay, and then Irene Max says, astrology is medicine.
Astrology is medicine, and I feel so good and healthy. My shoulders, I had PT today. Yes, you're right, Irene.
And then Courtney said, "You got this." Irene said, "Courtney, you got this."
Yeah. See? And that's what happens, Courtney, here, right? My community, we're kind and support one another. There's no hate on this channel. So you can always come here and connect. I try to come on twice a week. Last couple of weeks, I had guests, so I only came on once, and then I was so busy with clients and charts and teaching and all that. But I usually, they'll tell you, I try to come on like Tuesday or Wednesdays, and then Friday or Saturday. So I try to come on twice a week. I am half Cro-Magnon man, so during the football season, September to February or January, I don't really do Mondays and Thursdays. Now, probably in January when the playoffs start, I'll start back on Thursdays because Thursday's a good night. But I got to watch my sports, NFL and NBA, and the playoffs. The Yankees won last night. Let's go Yankees! We're gonna win the World Series this year. We got to beat the Guardians, and then we got to beat the Astros and Mariners. Then take out the Dodgers or whoever. All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Yeah. Then Irene Max said, sometimes surrendering to the higher power is all there is left to do.
Yeah, surrender. That's right. Go ahead.
And then Irene said, when you keep struggling sometimes, you can just surrender to the higher plan of your life. God bless y'all. I love y'all. And then Stephen Jutarian said, "Go Mets."
Go Mets. The Mets lost. They got beat already. Go ahead.
And then Courtney said, I feel like I'm always surrendering to start over. I want some stability, LOL.
Courtney, you should email me and you know, I can do your chart and stuff, you know.
I know like that feeling.
Yeah, yeah. I'll let your boy, Court.
Said I'm a Met fan till I die.
Oh, I feel you. Mets had a good season. I'm just saying, you know, they lost. They lost to the Padres. Padres took them out. All right, go ahead. Any other last comments?
Antonio said at Israel, interesting, what kind of partners do you track? I feel like my Leo is quite over the top at times, shaking my head.
Well, you know, in the woman's chart, you guys want to really look at that seventh house, Juno and Jupiter. And for the men, you want to look at the Venus, seventh house is Juno. Okay. Mars for both of us is just a sexual attraction, but it's not always going to be the right marital partner. Okay. Same with that fifth house. That's the dating, romance, fun, sex. You want to look for the intimacy after the marriage, eighth house, the seventh house. You can see certain things in the second house in terms of like family values. You want to definitely look at that Venus, Jupiter, Juno. But these are things I talk about in Coffee Talk. And I've done, you know, Knowledge is Love episodes on that stuff too. So you can go back, Courtney. You know, check out a brother's playlist. The playlist is thorough, like the borough I'm from. NYNY. Okay. So I'm gonna say goodnight. Truth's gotta bounce. And this was fun, you know. Sometimes I normally stay longer than just an hour, but you know, tonight I'm just gonna call it early. The Truth's got basketball practice. But I love you guys. Knowledge is Love, episode 89. And Courtney, I'd love to see you at Coffee Talk. So please email me. And, you know, it's only $15. You could pay PayPal and Cash App. I also have Zelle. But everything's going to be okay, Courtney. And listen, positive self-talk, okay? Be kind to yourself. You deserve it, Courtney. You are amazing, and all of you are amazing. You know, like I started in my video, and I mean it, right? I think you're famous, right? I give you the famous people, celebrities, and some of the placements, but it's just for reference points because they're not watching my stuff. If they do, God bless them, right? That's great. But it's about you guys, and you have to have that mindset. You are special. Or I started on my sports talk radio show years ago, specialer. You know, like Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Ja Morant. Some players, some people are specialer. Lamar Jackson is where I started saying that. He's specialer. I like to make up words. These are isms and stuff. So I'll see you, and I'll probably be back on maybe Saturday night after Coffee Talk. I might come on live Saturday night. We shall see. All right. So that's it. Later.
Bye.
Bye.